Today we are working on Excel Chapter 2, Skill Review 2 on page 39 of your workbook. Scenario: you sell security products for Import Point Incorporated. You need an invoice that totals the amount due for each item purchased based on the quantity, calculates and adds tax, and then calculates the amount of tax and invoice totals. You also need a blank version of the worksheet to use as a starting point for additional invoices. Step 1. Open the student data file name C2R2-Invoice. Save the file as C2R2-Invoice with your last name. You start in Excel. Click on Open. Browse to your E drive. Find your student data files. We're working in Excel. Open up Excel and click on C2R2-Invoice to open the file. And then you need to save the file. File, Save As, browse to your E drive, and save the file as C2R2-Invoice with your last name. And click Save. Step 2, type your name in cell A3. Find cell A3 and type in your name. Step 3, change invoice number in cell B4 to 1010. So find cell B4, type in 1010 and press enter. Step 4, in cell E4, insert a function to display the current date. So we need to find cell E4. We're going to type in a function for the date, which is equals today, open, close, parentheses, press enter. In cell step 5, in cell D8, enter a formula that calculates the cost amount for the quantity purchased. Do not use a function. These are functions over here. They want us to use a formula. Copy the formula through row 13. Okay, first thing you need to do is find cell D8. Press the equal sign to start the formula. We're going to calculate the cost amount for the quantity purchase, which is the quantity times the rate. So that'll be B8 times C8. Enter. Now they want us to copy this formula down to row 13. So you're going to use the autofill handle. We'll turn to a small black plus sign. Left click, drag down to row 13 and release. Step 6. In cell E8, enter a formula that calculates the tax due using an absolute reference that refers to the tax rate in cell B5. Do not use a function. Copy the formula through row 13. So you need to find cell E8. You always start a formula off with the equal sign. So we're trying to calculate the tax due using the tax rate in cell B5. So to calculate that is the amount times the tax rate. So you click in cell D8 for the amount times the tax rate, which is 5.50%. But that needs to be an absolute cell reference because we're going to copy that formula and we don't want the information to change. So you need to put a dollar sign before the row header and before the column header and before the row header. Quickest way to do it is to press F4 on your keyboard and press enter. Or you can manually put the dollar signs for the absolute cell reference. go up here and put a $ before the column and before the row and press enter. Now they want us to copy this formula down to row 13. Left click, drag. We're on step 7. In cell F8, enter a formula that adds the amount and tax for the quantity purchased. Do not use a function. Copy the formula through row 13. First thing you need to do is find cell F8. Start the formula off with an equal sign. They want us to calculate the amount and tax for the quantity purchased. Amount D8 plus the tax in E8 and press enter. And they want us to copy this formula down to row 13. Use the autofill, left click, drag down to row 13, release. Step 8. In cell E15, use a function to create a formula that calculates the total amount of tax for this order. The total should include rows 8 through 13 so that it will automatically recalculate correctly if additional items are added to the invoice at rows 12 through 13. So the first thing you need to do is find cell E15. E15. Now we're calculating the total amount of tax for this order. This is the entire order. So they want us to use a function. We're going to use the sum function because we're adding excuse me, the total amounts. We're going to use the sum, but they want it to calculate from rows 8 through 13. So you need to select row 8 through 13 and press enter. As you can see right here, it should say equal sum. The cell references range E8 through E13 and press enter. You're including these rows just in case you have to enter another item, it'll automatically update. Step 9, in cell F17, use a function that calculates the invoice total for cells F8 through F13. First thing you need to do is find cell F17, F17, and you're going to use a function that calculates the total for the invoice. So we're going to use sum, and it wants to calculate for rows F8 through F13. So you need to select row F8 through F13. You see it right here and press enter. Step 10, change the badge quantity to 60. Badge quantity is 55. We need to change that to 60. So click in cell B8 and type in 60 and press enter. Step 11, add a new sheet, sheet 2 to the workbook. Down here, you're going to click on the new sheet button. Left click the small plus sign down to the bottom for the new sheet, and you'll see sheet 2 pop up. Step 12, select the range A1 through F17 on sheet 1. Go back to sheet 1. We're going to select the range A1 through F17. So you're going to start left click A1 to F17. On sheet 1. We're going to copy and then paste it to the same range on sheet 2. So you're going to click copy. Then you're going to click sheet 2. You're going to click in cell A1. And you're going to click the paste button. You're going to use, now it says use the paste options button to keep the original column width. This is the paste option button. Click the arrow, and you need to find the button that says keep original column widths. Keep source column width. And click on it. Click in the blank cell. Okay, we're on step 13. On sheet 2, clear the contents from cells B4, E4, and the range A8 through C11. So you click in B4, you can press delete on your keyboard. There's also a different way to do it. You can click in cell E4, and in the editing group, you can click on clear contents. That's a different way to do it. Now we need to clear the contents from cells A8 through C11. So you're going to select A8 through C11. And you can press delete on your keyboard, or you can use the clear button in the editing group and click on clear contents. This is how you prepare a blank invoice. Step 14, rename sheet 2, type in invoice with the number sign. So you can double click and type invoice and the number sign. Click on the blank cell to accept the changes. And on sheet 1, type invoice 1010 as its new sheet name. So you can right click sheet 1, click on rename, and type in invoice 1010. Click on the blank cell to accept changes. Step 15, save the workbook file. Click on the save button on the quick access toolbar, save your file, and that's